Guess what day it is? Guess what day it is? Huh? Anybody? Anybody? Julie? Guess what day it is? Oh, come on. I know y'all can hear me. You're listening to the podcast all the time. Mike. What day is it, Mike? Listen. Guess what day it is? It's hump day. What? Hey, how's it going? Yeah, hump day. Welcome back to Your Success DNA from yoursuccessatlast.com. That motivational ump that you need every single day, even on hump day. What? Those core inspirational building blocks to help you get what you need to get done. Me, I'm your host, Tracy, the Ace Brinkman, the Sergeant Major of Motivation. Wow, hump day on the back end slide, right? You ready for your weekend? I know you are. Phew. Well, what do we ask on Wednesdays? Wednesdays always talk about what do you need or what do you want to change. You know, there's always something in life that you want to change, that you want to make better, you want to make prettier, you want to make shinier, or you want to do it more often. What is it? What is it for you? See, if we don't take a minute or two, excuse me, my goodness, I got something caught in my throat. If we don't take a minute or two regularly to ponder this question, then we end up getting caught in a rut. And as we all know, a rut is nothing more than a grave with the ends kicked out. So I want you to ponder the question, what do you want or need to change? And that way you can start building a plan to change it. Whew. You know, and building those plans, I mean, there could be things in your personal life you want to change, in your professional life you want to change. And today's show is all about balancing those personal and professional responsibilities without losing sleep, without throwing things out of kilter. All right, well, you know, and that's what it comes down to. Welcome to the constant curveball called life, right? I mean, there's always something happening, something new is happening, something old is repeating itself. There's something you want to change. There's something you got to get done. There's something looming over you, a problem that's just, you know. And with all the responsibilities on your shoulders, let's be honest, you can expect a few challenges, right? I know I do. I know my life is chock full of challenges, but I said bring them on. See, balancing life and professional responsibilities can be difficult. You probably feel like the only way you can get things done is by sacrificing sleep. But here's the thing. Let's not just talk about sleep for a moment. By sacrificing time with your loved ones. By sacrificing some of the fun. Remember we talked about, I had this show just last week, where we talked about planning those fun things that you want to do in life. Here's the thing. Nothing could be more further from the truth. You don't have to give up the sleep. You don't have to give up time with your loved ones. You don't have to give up the fun time to balance your personal and your professional responsibilities. The good news is you can get everything done and still enjoy plenty of rest, plenty of love times, plenty of family time, and plenty of fun. All right? Now, we want to talk about a few of those tips to help you better balance your responsibilities and give you a little time to spare. All right? I only got 4 of them today, so I'm not going to beat you over the head too much, but I want to give you some good key ones that really get you thinking. All right? Give you think about what it is you want or need to change when it comes to this arena. Number 1 is dedicate personal and professional time. It's important to set boundaries between your personal and professional time. This is going to be the first step to being able to balance those 2 areas of your life. And it's not always going to be 50-50. Sometimes it's going to be 90-10. The key is not making it always 90-10. You're going to need to split your day accordingly and try to stick to that separation. Now, professional time doesn't always mean hours and hours and hours in the office, or hours and hours and hours at home, or because there may be those times when you are preparing for that presentation. You got that big meeting, that big presentation at the board meeting, right? And if tonight's prep night, well, then you've got to get it done. So you're going to skew towards the other side. How you use your time slots is totally up to you. The key is just avoiding letting the other aspects get out of kilter, right? It may sometimes be hard to stick to the separation, But generally applying the rules and trying to stick to them is going to have a huge impact on how you apply your life. All right? If you're thinking about, hey, I got to spend a little extra time at work today and tomorrow because I have this project done and the catalog's getting ready to go out and I got to get these planning pieces done. Okay, cool. But then on the other side of that, say, well, okay, now on Friday, I can probably jet out of here an hour early. I've spent all this extra time here and spend a little time with my special someone. Okay? Now that you've got a little bit of delineation, you've set some boundaries, now it's time to start prioritizing responsibilities. Like I said, now that you've gotten a better understanding of how to set the boundaries, you want to start focusing on priorities. How you spend your time is dependent on what is most important to you. Right? If you're always addressing urgent matters, the important ones may get a little overlooked. And the fearful part is they can get overlooked constantly. Urgency rarely means importance. All right? I want you to hear that. Urgence rarely means it's important to you. Handle the important duties first whenever you're able to. There are going to be times when the urgent has to be handled. I get that. But you want to keep your focus on the important. If you let that important slip, you miss that phone call on Monday, all right, then you can cause some tears, all right? You don't want to do that. So you want to handle the important. Try planning your week in advance. This is a good one. Right? Try sitting down on Sunday night, right? And say, okay, I need to get these 3 things done. These are the most important things I get done this week. I need to do this one on Monday, do that one on Thursday, and I need to get this one done by Wednesday. All right? Now, let's be honest. All right? And I'm going to be real about this. There are going to be times when your plan is going to be interrupted. I get it. It happens. Life just gets in the way. Life just happens. But having a plan is going to go a long way to keeping you ahead of the game. All right? Next is keep your responsibilities in perspective. The key here is remembering Rome was not built in a day, ladies and gentlemen. It's okay to leave some things for tomorrow. Most of the people that listen to this podcast and the folks I engage with, you know, in this personal development world are high achievers. And as a high achiever, we want to show our superpowers. Da, 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 da. You can see me standing here with my hands on my hips, my head tilted to the side, my shoulders thrown back, and my cape blown in the wind, right? Right? Ready to leap a building in a single bound. Yeah. But you may actually be able to paint a better picture by showing some composure. It's better to get a few things done really well than it is to get a bunch of things done in a poor fashion. See, this approach shows organization, confidence, and aptitude. Those who rely on you are going to be far more impressed by those traits than by your ability to get 1,000 things done halfway. How about that? Okay? Take turns with a coworker that wants to learn more and share a report with them. They want to learn to grow themselves. Well, help foster that growth, right? The best way to learn something even better for yourself is to teach someone. So if you take turns with some of these duties, you're growing someone else, you're making something more ingrained in you by teaching someone, and you're showing some of your skills, your leadership skills, all right? All right, so keep your responsibilities in perspective. Now, the last one I want to share with you is sleep when it's bedtime. Oh, duh, right? Yeah, but sometimes it's easier said than done. It's actually easier than you think to get to sleep. All it takes for a good night's sleep is the same amount of commitment that you're giving to your other responsibilities. Right? You're all focused. Oh, I've got to provide for my family, so I've got to get to work. I've got to make sure my kids know I love them, so I've got to spend some time with them. Yeah, well, you've got to get some sleep, so give yourself that same commitment to your sleep as you're giving to your other responsibilities. Hey, seriously, after everything you've accomplished in the day, it should be easy to dedicate 6, 7, 8 hours to some sleep, some downtime. It's the least that you can do for yourself. You could try things like practicing meditation. That's fine. To help you relax before bedtime. Whatever works for you to help you chill before bedtime. Maybe it's reading a book. Maybe it's chatting with someone you care about. See, Maybe it's for sometimes for me, like I mentioned earlier, I got things rattling around in my head, and if I sit down and just jot them down on a piece of paper. I've tried jotting them down in a computer. It doesn't quite work the same way. For me, it's the tactile of writing it down. Right? It gets them out of my head, gets them out of the ether of my head, and makes them real. I can see them, I can read them, I can hold them in my hand in a piece of paper. Okay? And I'm not talking about spending 3 hours before bedtime. I'm talking about a couple of quick notes. Oh yeah, I got this, I got to do this, I got to talk to Mitch about that, I got to tell Diane this. These things. Get them out of my head. Now I can rest. My mind is calmer. And once you're rested, you'll have the mental and physical energy to take on everything that's on your plate. All right? So always, always remember that without adequate rest, you may end up being ineffective in your responsibilities. And that's defeating the very purpose you're trying to accomplish. Rest promotes concentration and gives you the energy that you need to keep going. Without rest, you are going to end up fumbling on the field. And gosh darn it, you know what's going to happen? You're going to end up fumbling on a key play. And that's not good. So practice these balancing techniques, maintain a regular sleep schedule, and watch everything fall into place. All right? Now, before you go, I want to remind you tomorrow, Thursday, right, 8 p.m., the big Resolution Revolution webinar. Right? We're going to talk about goal setting, getting things done this year. Some great tips and great techniques. Probably about 45, 50 minutes of just pure content for you to get what you want to get done this year. And it may not take you the whole year. You may have a couple of resolutions or goals you can get done in the next week, next month, next 30, 60, 90 days. I'm going to teach you how to get them done even better, even faster. All right, so go over to yoursuccessatlast.com. Click on that banner towards the top there. It says Resolution Revolution, big orange thing. Can't miss it. It will ask you for your email. Drop it down in there. It'll send you a reminder tomorrow. Remind you of the webinar as it starts. And what will happen is you'll go to the exact same place tomorrow evening, 8 o'clock here, Central Standard Time here in the United States. And there's also a link in there for converting that to your local time. And you'll go right there, and the webinar will be right there for you. So, like I said, we'll spend about 45, 50 minutes on pure content, a little teaching episode. And then we'll have open it up to some Q&A. So I'll answer your questions, how you can get things done. Tomorrow we're going to talk about change your life in 30 days. A process that really works. You're not going to want to miss this one. With that, I'm going to leave you like I always do. Think successfully. Take action. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.